Is Trap the dumbest pile of crap that M. Night Shyamalan has ever made? What's up, cretins? What's up, creeps? My name is Chris. I'm the only person talking horror on the internet. I am here to help you navigate the nonsense as today we discuss Trap. So I'm going to give you a trigger warning before we get into this. This is going to be a very negative review, spoken in very frank terminology. If that is not something that appeals to you, please swipe out to something else on my page. I have plenty positive there. First off, I'm going to give you the TLDR haiku review. Serial killer named the Butcher. Lazy. Tells you all you need. Here's your full spoiler-free review. The master of the macabre, M. Night Shyamalan, has returned with his latest offering, Trap. Trap tells the story of Cooper Adams, a serial killer who has brought his daughter Riley to an arena concert of pop superstar Lady Raven. Cooper catches wind that the FBI knows that a serial killer is in the arena and that there is no way out. He is determined to find a way out. There's your movie. Okay. I don't know where to begin with this movie. I could speak extensively on my thoughts on M. Night Shyamalan and his eras of work. For time's sake, I'm not going to get into that because I have a lot to say. Maybe that's another video for another time if you folks want that right there. But for right now, let's reduce it to this. From The Sixth Sense onward, I think he has made 4 good movies. I think he has made 5 not good movies, and I think he has made 5 movies that are unwatchable. I think that that's fair, and I think that's a respectful way to put it. Now, I think he is very strong in concept. I think he is very flawed in execution. And my biggest issues with his execution lay in characterization and dialogue. So if you've been following along, I had noted in my Predicting the Legacies of June 2024's horror movies video that I am convinced that the Shyamalan family has never interacted with anybody outside of the Shyamalan family because they have zero concept of how people speak or how people act. Everything has this idyllic, obvious, and ultimately overtly unrealistic air to it. The worst example of this is when he does his stupid copy-paste thing that I did not realize until this movie that he does in every movie, where some kid uses a slang term and the adult either misappropriates or reinterprets to hilarious results. This time around, Josh Hartnett finds out that crispy means great and suggests that extra fried would mean really great. He also uses the word gelita to mean jealous, which I looked up. I can't find that as a thing anywhere. And it's like, sorry, bro, you're not making fetch happen. It's not happening. I hated this shit, but the guy that was behind me definitely did not. He was yucking it up every fucking time that a joke was dropped. Come on, guy, really? With bullshit like this, it is only a matter of time before my eyes start rolling to the back of my head. And Trap set the new record for that happening in a Shyamalan movie, happening as the movie opens, as Riley is screaming along to the car radio while her father silently drives. Now, if she had friends with her, it would make sense. If she was extroverted or didn't care what people think, that would make sense. If she was trying to get her father into the music, it would make sense. If she was 7 years old, it would make sense. And I'm not convinced that she wasn't written as a 7-year-old and just changed to a 14-year-old, probably because of labor restrictions. Because although it's stated that Riley is a teenager and Ariel Donahue, the actress that portrays her, is 14 years of age, she is written as she's like 7 or 8 years old. And I'm not nitpicking that. 2 minutes after the car scene, when she can't see something, Dad Cooper says, "Shoulder?" To which she smiles and she nods as he lifts her up onto his shoulder and seats her there. She's 14 years old. How many 14-year-olds are riding on Dad's shoulder? Really? It's a much bigger issue as the movie progresses because there's so much that feels this is not characteristic of a teenage girl. This is characteristic of a young child. Dad Cooper is a mess as well. And that's not Josh Hartnett's fault. Not at all. He doesn't have any defined attributes. He's kind of good at slipping past people. He's kind of good at manipulation. He's kind of a good father. He's kind of got a dark side. I mean, is that because he's kind of schizophrenic? Kind of sociopathic? I don't fucking know. I'm not sure if M. Night Shyamalan knows either. He's kind of whatever he needs to be in whatever situation he's in. But none of it ever feels genuine because nothing is ever earned. I am not an advocate for voiceover, but having his dark passenger dictate where he's at mentally at all times would have greatly benefited this movie because those motivations either aren't there or Shyamalan doesn't know how to show them. It's never scary, it's never suspenseful. That is, of course, unless you're being paid to be there.
Oh my god.
While on the note of what he doesn't know how to show, I took issue with the entire scope of the film. This is supposed to be a huge pop star. This is supposed to be like a 30,000 plus venue. This never feels like there's more than maybe 500 people there. And that's honestly probably being generous. Fuck that. No, listen, I don't even know if Shyamalan has ever been to a concert before, or at least in the past 30 years. The ineptitude that there's no lines at anything, not to the bathroom, not to concessions, not to merch, not to get in. Everybody just kind of freely roams about. Why is that? There's zero security anywhere. Apparently, Shyamalan is also under the impression that the artist provides the public venue security. He thinks that concert venues also have unbarricaded, unsecured doors in the public floor between the spaces where people sit that just opens right up to an 8-foot drop, and that they just hope that nobody's walking on it while it's opening up. And like, small thing, but he thinks that concert shirts for top artists are fucking $25. He thinks scalpers are still a thing. Scalpers haven't been a thing outside of venues since StubHub. I mean, fuck. It's such a non-spoiler, but it is in the third act, so whatever. But you find out that the way that the FBI found out that the butcher was there that night was that they found a piece of a concert ticket at the victim's house. Like, what? Guys, I am an avid concert goer. If you want proof of that, check out my other TikTok at Chris Hurd Stuff. I have clips from like 50 shows that I've been to since like 2022. I upload daily and I'm still over a year behind. I have tickets to Green Day next week. I have tickets to Weezer in September. I had tickets to Aerosmith next February, but they canceled that show today. I bought them all directly off of Ticketmaster, and getting physical tickets was not even an option for any of those shows. But even if you look past that, what the fuck am I supposed to believe? That he had a ticket and a piece of the ticket just flew off? No, you didn't lose the entire tickets. You lost a piece of a fucking ticket. How does that happen? In order to believe this movie, suspending disbelief will not suffice. You have to go for full-on expulsion. And that's not even touching on the fucking merch guy. Because in the world of trap, the fucking FBI briefs merch guys. And merch guys divulge confidential FBI information to people because after knowing them for 30 seconds, they can tell that you come from a good family. They also escort people that they've exchanged 18 sentences with into secure areas of arenas and then give them free merch. Fuck you. Plus, We're supposed to think this is the quirky, fun guy. One of the scenes that happens, he goes and takes out his phone and starts showing Josh Hartnett pictures of the victims of the butcher. Like, his friend took pictures of dead bodies and he's just carrying these around and showing them to random people. This dude is the comic relief. Hilarious! Shut the fuck up! So how is this movie so dumb and so unfocused? Because plain, simple, matter of fact, the only thing that M. Night Shyamalan is trying to do, and the only thing that he is focused on in this movie, is making his daughter famous. That is the only reason that this movie exists. Because he has spent the first 24 years of his career telling us about the genius in his brain. But for the 25th, he did a Shyamalan twist and is telling us about the genius that he has in his fucking testicles. There are excessively long takes of his daughter on stage. The time that he should be spending developing his leads is spent convincing you that this is good music. The opening acts in the movie, there are opening acts, but they are an afterthought. They get 1 to 2 minutes of screen time. Because the objective here is to put his daughter on stage within the first 10 minutes. But that's not the only problem. It's also the things that she says between songs while she's on stage. They're so over the top. Look what an amazing person my daughter is. And the character she is off stage, fucking hell. Like, line up a Purple Heart, a Nobel Peace Prize, a Kennedy Center honor, the key to the city of Philadelphia. That shit won't be enough. Fucking Mother Teresa would be asking her how to be a better person. And listen, as far as her music goes, it's fine. Like, it is not my forte, but it's fine for what it is. She is definitely more proficient at it than she is at acting. I don't want to be a dick, but she is the low point in the acting space, and by a substantial margin. Listen, my prior 4 reviews have been very positive, and I try to say something at the end to let you know that I did look at this objectively and there are things that could be improved, but I'm not trying to like jerk myself or anybody else off. Due to that, let's talk about a couple of positives that there are to Trap. First off, the actors are doing the best that they can with the work that they have been given. I am sure that none of them signed on to this knowing that this was Salika Night Shyamalan's demo reel. And that includes Salika. I doubt that she asked her father to make this movie. I think she agreed to it, but I don't think that she agreed to it under these pretenses. Another positive, as much as I hate that the movie exists for the reasons that it does, in his cameo, you can see the pride that M. Night Shyamalan has in his daughter. It does not justify the waste of the time of the cast, the crew, the concept, or the audience watching it, but it is a nice sentiment. I'm not a heartless prick. I think that the concept is interesting. In different hands, this would have been a 90-minute thriller film where the musician is the backdrop and their music would progress the film in lieu of standing in the way of it. If you want to remake this movie fucking next year, do it. I give you full license to remake this movie. Lastly, as most of his films are, it's an easy watch. You don't have to like it. You don't even have to invest in it. This is the kind of shit that you put on a Sunday afternoon to ignore while you fold laundry or mop your kitchen floor or scroll through TikToks and listen to people rant for 10 minutes about a movie that they didn't like. It's the kind of movie that you'll just like occasionally look up while you're doing your other things and go, huh. We all know that you are being paid to be here, dude. Nobody is this engaged in this movie. May come as a surprise to you, but I didn't like Trap. Police work. serial killers, pop music, the concert-going experience. These are all subjects that there is a wealth of knowledge on, and it's available at your fingertips. And that research is disregarded in favor of a vain, self-serving, and completely useless film. I take no issue with beating this dead horse for over 10 minutes. Some people have been beating a dead horse for like 2 decades. Kindred Spirits, Glass, Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, any Lifetime original movie about a serial killer. Christ. That's going to do it for today, guys. Do all these things. Let me know what you thought of Trap right over here. Please be respectful to others and don't spoil anything. I did my best not to. As always, this is all just a matter of opinion. See it yourself. Make your own decisions. Remain critical. Support horror.
That's a good one.